Hello again. History was in the making in a 2014 Crucible quarter-final between two left-handers, Australia's Neil Robertson and England's Judd Trump. Robertson was in the form of his life that season, having won the UK crown and the Wuxi Classic coming into Sheffield. But he was also on the cusp of something remarkable and very special. He was 1 ton away from a century of centuries. But the magnitude of that potential achievement was beginning to distract him. Trump, who had already been to a Crucible final himself 3 years earlier in 2011, was in the mood to attack.
There's just sort of a special atmosphere. Everyone knows that they're there for the biggest tournament, and it's just such an enjoyable experience. And I think sort of my record is showed that I've really enjoyed playing there compared to most other tournaments. I've been very consistent there.
He started off the final like a train, taking a 3-1 lead as we pick them up in frame 5.
Not sure if you can avoid the red that's behind it on the way down. And he played for the kiss. He didn't get the pot.
Yep.
Not happy at all out there. May have had a heavy contact. It doesn't look the black would go, so I'm not quite sure what Neil played for then, because he wouldn't have been on any other colour. Only he knows. Trumpy looking down there, that red just above the black. If at some stage you can get on that, maybe trying it this time, I don't know. No, he's just playing for the red on the centre. He'll hold for the blue if he can, and then now you see he's looking at it
6.
now. What's about? That red goes past the black into the right corner. He'll be on it straight away. And it does.
7.
Now, how's the pace?
Yep.
Not perfect.
12.
We know the black doesn't pot, so if he's not on the red above the black, he may have to play an alternative to try and get into the pink.
You see the red he's looking at looks very tight. Those two together there, and he's playing the red past the black. Knew he had to get a cannon right. Well, he's on the black, but he'd like that black to be a few inches further out. It's not just the black's a lot thinner than you wanted for a cut, it's just that holding. Cue ball as well comes into it. Oh, he plays those shots well. See how he held the cue ball there with some backspin, very gentle push through of the cue. Natural instincts do that.
21.
There's no technical book that can show you how to play those shots really. There were some problems out there in this session. A few shots that the spin didn't seem to take on the white, and a few kicks. I don't think they've had many bounces off the cushion, which is something you get in, shall we say, a damper atmosphere.
29.
Still not happy.
They're thinking the table's really damp, aren't they, at the minute? So there's another example. There's no pace off the cushion there. So that's his aspirations of getting onto the black off this red gone.
36.
Unless he plays to screw off the pack.
37.
This is a great chance, isn't it, to make sure you're going into the second session, which is tomorrow. No worse than all square. And obviously he'd like to kick on from the possible 4-1 lead he's going to have in a few moments.
43. Yep.
Just overdone that one slightly. He would have liked a slight angle on this red to get closer to the black, but he seems to pot them wherever the cue ball stops anyway.
$44.
Got the perfect angle to stun up for those two reds. They're available in the opposite corner pocket. Be interesting to see how the white reacts off this, because he's going to have to cue down on it, and if the table's damp you have to use a little bit harder. Now, he didn't get the desired stun again, but it's still reasonably okay.
51.
Well, that spread them out a little bit. Another good pot. After playing that shot, you expect to be a little bit easier on the black or pink, and when you're left a shot like that, you can think, well, it went down. Just played
60.
it as it was. Didn't worry about it.
$67. $68.
Amazingly enough, Judd has yet to make a century in this tournament. We've already had 38 centuries, and this is a chance of another one. But it'll be Judd's first. Try to bring the red over the corner pocket, but he's got a second prize. He's finished pretty well on this red into the ball pocket. Good shot.
74. $79. $80.
That's Judd's highest break of the tournament so far, amazingly enough. A break of 80. Having won 2 matches, you would expect that to be a lot higher. Didn't quite get into that properly. Needs a good cut
87.
on the red. Now, is he going to be okay on the black to go the hole for the last red? Not this time, may have to take the pink.
88.
Anything but straight is okay. If it's straight, you may have to use the jaws. Just off straight. Once again, he just powers those in.
95.
Brilliant shot. Well, the guaranteed position is pink in the middle, yellow into the right-hand corner, but he wants to make sure of the century. Well, a fabulous century from Judd Trump, his first of the tournament. The 38th of the tournament in total, but no position on the yellow. Well, has he? Through the gap. That's amazing, isn't it?
104.
The only way he could get on the green. Catch the jaws. He just popped some balls, this young man.
107.
Unfortunately, the Browns not got in for the clearance, but a fabulous break of 107 takes Judd Trump now 3 frames clear at 4-1.
24-year-old Trump was bidding for back-to-back appearances in a Crucible semi-final on the one-table setup. And he had extended his advantage with a break of 60 to go 5-1 in front. It was looking very, very good indeed. Robertson won a tight 7th to just about stay in touch as we head into the 8th.
Neil Robertson, right. Settle down, please.
Cut that one a little thin. Now this is a Neil Robertson special. He's normally very good at these shots, coming back for blue or ball colour. Wow! I'd like to see the speed that red went into the pocket.
1.
Amazing. Yeah, he's coughing again. Look, I don't think he's right, but tremendous shot that was.
Certainly wouldn't have been as confident as he was getting down, having pinched the previous frame.
Four. 5.
He's still behind though. If you win 2 sessions, you're 5-3, you're 10-6 up
12.
going into the last session. It's a big lead.
That's when you have to earn your money, Terry, as a coach, isn't it? And you know, when your player thinks he should be further in front, but you still should be. You'd have took 5-3 before a ball was struck, wouldn't you?
Well, there's a few things happening out there that we
Neil
don't
Robertson,
expect, and I'm sure Neil Robertson also doesn't expect them. It's a bit caught. He's brought some reds into play, and he's got enough. The cue ball's far enough off the cushion to put some sort of stun and deviate the cue ball for the next red.
Eight. 9.
We don't really know if Neil Robertson is not feeling well here, but the truth of it is, as the championship is now, you play every day, so you haven't really got any chance to recover. He hit 2 shots then and didn't really get the contact he wanted, the spin.
Yes, especially the previous one, the red to blue, he was expected to be top side of the blue. That one he hit purposely a little bit harder to make sure that he got around the 2 cushions to get onto these reds. If he gets nicely on the black now, you'd expect him to score heavily. We've just got time
15.
to show you the red when he's playing to screw top side of the blue, and it's an angle that there's no problem. You do expect to get this 9 out of 10, but you see there he's left it short. And this is a little bit short as well. May have to play a little cannon to slow the cue ball down. Now, if he's not hampered, should still be okay.
22.
There's a red available into the middle to get onto the black or the pink.
$23.
Judd Trump sees the shot very early, doesn't he? He's down there and he's very quick, and he must be a difficult opponent to play against. You know, when he's at his best, he's very destructive. Can pot him from everywhere.
It's just nice to see him playing reasonable again, Terry, because he's gone through a spell this season where we've only seen just flashes of his brilliance. There's been no consistency at all in Judd's game this season. We know what a fabulous talent he is. And to do it at the biggest stage, that's what it's all about. That's what everybody strives for, to do it here at Sheffield. Maybe he's saving his best for this next 2 weeks. Well, certainly now the next week that's remaining.
$37. $38. $45.
Another
46.
kick. It's not too bad, but just taking the cue ball slightly out of position. You get just about hold for these reds, dead weight with the black.
It's another contribution of above 50. His fourth of the afternoon session, as well as
54.
breaks of 46.37 as well. Glance at the scoreboard. Tells him he's 42 in front, the black 49. So 2 more reds and colours to be absolutely certain. Doesn't really want to play for the one behind the black there. He'd rather play on the one on the side cushion because he's left-handed. And that red down the cushion is a little bit easier than the one along the back cushion. The one he's going to play is the one along the back cushion. One more red after this one.
61.
And he's going to go 6-2 overnight.
62.
Wow, if that had been any harder, that would have not gone in. That was high. Just look at this red. Went right in off the far jaw. Didn't risk going into them. I thought he would, but he played it absolutely to the inch. This is inch perfect, as JB would say.
69. $70.
That's the important red. Pot the black as well. Maybe end of session. Still went for the big split on the last 3 reds though. He likes to entertain Judd Trump.
77.
Just check the score. He's 65 in front with just 51 left.
Well, Neil Robertson obviously resigned to the fact now he's going to be 6-2 behind. He's got it to do now, hasn't he? He was one of the favourites for this tournament.
84.
Has to win the next session, regardless of whether it's 5-3, 6-2, to get back into the match. But this is really nice to see Judd Trump playing like we know he can.
91.
Yes, he's certainly both. He's
92.
been the most impressive out of the two today.
'97.
Sure, we were all thinking at the start of this match it'd be a cracker, probably go all the way, and it may still do,
99.
but nobody expected a 6-2 result for either player.
102.
Oh, they're all like 100 here and there.
106.
A few exhibition shots here now. Those in the front row better watch out.
111. 117.
Amazing. Where's this one going?
117 in frame.
Not quite. But it's been a wonderful potting and break building exercise here from Judd Trump, and he leads Neil Robertson overnight by 6 frames to 2.
The first session I was just concentrating, just get a century, just get the century out of the way, 100 centuries, then you can sort of really get on with the match. And you know, he played very well in the first session. He led 6-2, and then I was sort of thinking, you know, God, have I blown it here to make 100 centuries?
Clearly the preeminent thought in the Australian's mind was reaching that milestone. But the century didn't come as he took the next 2 frames, although he was moving ever closer to Trump. 4-6 behind now as we head into frame 11.
One.
But that is very pedestrian as far as Neil Robertson's shot time is concerned. Over 30 seconds, it's unheard of.
6.
Yep. Nearly potted the red there, Judd. Good split of the pack. One nearly went in. But for Judd, he just needs to get a sizable break, win the frame quickly, and get involved with his hand on the table.
7.
And if you do that, no matter how long your opponent's taking, there's Robertson's average shot time, 31 seconds. Judd at 22. So if I was Judd, I'd be looking forward to try and make a break in one visit.
Keeps finishing awkward though, John, doesn't he? He's not had an easy opportunity to get his hand on the table where everything's set. Even though these reds are fine, you can see the position he's finished on the blue. The blue doesn't pot in the corner, so he's got an awkward yellow or an awkward green. And when you're under the cosh like he is at the moment, if he'd won the first 2 frames, this yellow would be a certainty. It's not a certainty now, he's lost the first 2. But excellent rest player, and what an excellent positional shot this is. Well done. And saying that's still a little bit awkward, isn't it? He just can't get out of the woods at the moment. He's finished virtually straight on this black. There's a slight angle, maybe to push it around 2 cushions, but doing that, there's no visible red that's a certainty to get on. Just playing for the one at the back of the pack. But it's still not certain to get onto a colour nicely.
70.
This is what you have to do sometimes. You have to work until you get perfect. Maybe another mobile phone just went off. Just answer it and tell them you're coming home. Right, has he got the ball
80.
perfect this time? Not quite. Now, if he's straight on the red to the left of the pink spot, this is the first time he's had the balls in a position
21.
where he'd expect to get nicely on his next colour.
$22.
Yeah, good shot that. Stunned up. Red at the back of the cluster
29.
here. Little run through back onto the black, and this is a very decent response at the minute from Judd. More or less
Good.
frozen out the first 2 frames, didn't have any decent chances. Seen the scoreboard change from 6-2 to 6-4.
But how careless was that shot on the red as Neil looks on? He's just pushed that into a position now on this black where he's going to struggle to get on the next red. Got to finish half ball on that black. It's all his own fault, and if he's on one in the middle, it's very fortunate.
37.
Yeah, tricky little shot. Well negotiated.
38.
So he recovered, he got a little bit fortunate with his last position shot. But redeemed it.
That's better. Played that nicely.
39.
Just had to miss that red on the cushion. He's bound to be on 2 reds. Decided to go for the blue this time.
46.
He had a glance at this red last time, which he could have played to get on the black, but he decided to play the other red. Tight, isn't it? We'll know whether he feels it's an easy pot after this shot. He's played for choice of 2 reds. This is a good effort. It's his
51.
first real opportunity to score in this opening 2.5 frames, and he's taken these quite well so far. Been out of position on a couple of occasions. You can definitely see the middle of the pocket, can't he? So if he was dead straight behind it, he'd play that one, but he's decided, because he's got a slight angle on this red, he's taken the other one.
52. 57.
57 in front. It's red colour red. He'd like to stretch for this because using the rest it's a hard shot. Apart from about 10 points, he never really had that cue ball under control in the whole break of 57 that.
Reliably in form. That's the first shot he's missed with the rest in this match, so he's usually pretty proficient with it. I'd be quite happy to see it went safe as well. Good effort that though, the 57. As I say, he's been sitting in his chair for most of this afternoon session, so good response. And actually where it's finished has left Neil with a problem. And don't blame him taking a bit of time on this one. Quite a clever shot that he actually tried to put the red on the black, which would have made things a little bit more difficult for Neil should he get a chance. In his next couple of safety shots, should he get one, he'll be certainly trying to push a red safe as well. Just thinking whether he thinks he can see enough of this to pop the red down the side cushion past the yellow. It looks a bit tight. Looks a little easy to play safe off the two reds if he's thinking of playing safe. The two reds are together. That's now his choice. Chance of a red that's just below the pink spot here. Just wondering whether that red over the left-hand middle would be cuttable if he didn't quite get this one right down to the balk area, but great shot. Wow. Well, he didn't deserve that to go in, so great pot. You see it excellent with side at the blue, and it always looked like it was going to be close. Just had his heart in his mouth there. For all the world, like it was going in. Well, it is now, anyway.
Yes, it's a good job it went in, of course. He misjudged the angle of the cue ball back to baulk, and kissing into the blue would have left that red over the middle. As it is now,
6.
this red to make absolutely sure of this frame.
Seven. Twelve. 13.
Well, I'm very impressed with Judd in this frame.
18.
Couple of frames where he hasn't really had a good chance.
19.
Excellent shot there, just flicking the red out. But this is a good response, just to let his opponent know, no matter how you're playing or what you're doing, I'm still here. And I'm still playing well.
26.
Can't help himself, can he? He just loves to play naughty snooker. Oh, look at this one when it hits the cushion. Left-hand side now, Fizz again round the back of the brown. Unlucky.
34.
Well, it took him 2
34
visits,
frame.
break of 57 and then 34, but Judd Trump really got a foothold in this session now. He's won a frame and goes clear again at 7 frames to 4.
Quickly, Robertson reduced his arrears by winning the 12th frame. He's 5 frames to 7 behind now, and it's the Aussie to play again in the next.
One.
Sitting in his chair looking a little bit forlorn at the moment, and it's just not happened for him this afternoon. It's not that he's playing bad, it's just that every time he seems to get in, it's awkward. And it's going to be awkward at his next shot as well.
Lee Robertson, 1.
Very good. Very good. Very hard to judge them when you're playing them that slow.
That's an attacking safety shot, if ever there was one. Needs that green to come to his rescue. And it hasn't. No. Renowned as one of the best long potters in the game, Neil Robertson. Needs another one here. Because the way these balls are spread, if he knocks this in and lands on a colour, this is a great chance.
One.
Yeah, good pot. And these really are very nice indeed.
Well, he didn't get into the white at all there. That cue ball should have been at least a foot further in the table and obviously a lot closer to this red. He felt he had a bad contact. 3 points in front, and if he gets on this next colour, you'd expect him to win the frame at this visit. Maybe he can just screw back for the pink in the same pocket. If not, he can run through for pink in the middle or black in the corner.
Five.
His facial expression tells us it's not the way he played that shot, but he'll be pretty happy if this goes in. He's almost certain to be on the black or pink.
13.
And now it looks to be plain sailing, but it never is at this stage of a match when you're playing catch-up. It's been workmanlike this afternoon, hasn't it, Neil Robertson? He hasn't been his normal fluent self, but still looks like now he's going to win 4 of the first 5 frames.
21. $28. 29.
Yeah, he's taking these well here, but Judd definitely had his chances in this frame. I mean, he missed a red in the corner here. About 20 odd points. I mean, really, for somebody of his capabilities, that's a very bad miss.
$35. $36.
So already got a 40-point lead here.
41.
Just knock this red in, that'll definitely win him the frame. And Neil Robertson,
42.
slowly but surely, and literally this afternoon, slowly but surely, working his way back into this. And only 1 frame behind, 7-6.
47. 49.
Taking these well though. Very fluent here. And he's such a better player when he plays at this tempo.
52. 56.
Well, amazing enough, that's the best break of this match from Neil Robertson. And he's won 6 frames, so it just shows you just at least getting a couple of chances per frame so far.
61.
Oh, no clearance,
61
but Judd Trump nods his head, and this is a very, very big comeback from Neil Robertson. He's won 4 of the first 5 frames, but still trails by 7 frames to 6.
2 frames on the spin then, and Robertson was getting closer, 1 behind now. But every time he seemed to get within touching distance, Trump would respond. He won the next to go 8-6 ahead. Let's rejoin it.
This is not an easy safety shot. Well, that's... I didn't know whether he had a look at that before he played the shot.
1. Round.
Yes, I was looking at some stats, and apparently did have a look at that plant, so excellent shot.
5.
Now he's in a great position to score a few points here and possibly take a 3-frame
6.
lead going into the final session tonight. And he'd be delighted the way the session's gone to have won 3 frames.
Yeah, the big thing, of course, winning the last 2 frames of the session. Got pegged back to 7-6, but you can go on and finish this 9-6. We'll be delighted with that scoreline.
12. 13.
Well, he can hold for pink or black here, whichever he decides to play the better position. Well, he's gone too far.
21.
Well, he's just completely... Well, miss-hit the shot, that's all I can think of.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen a little bit of a quick cue action there. Certainly wasn't smooth through the ball. Had a little bit of a jab at that one, and he's ended up in no man's land. So here comes a big blue. Looks like he's getting lined up for it. Match time just goes over 5 hours now. Well, he's not playing the blue. Stretching on the black.
If he plays the blue, you fancy him potted, and if he plays the black or the pink, it's missable. I mean, as he knows it's the last frame of the session, surely, is this a bit risky taking a pot on, John? Would you not just play a safety shot?
Yeah, tough decision. I think where the blue is, I think if I was Judd, I'd be playing the blue. If he can hold that and not get the cue ball on the spot on the blue, he's got a red right next to him that's perfect. But tricky pink instead.
Oh, it looked high for a moment, and once you've taken a shot on like that, you deserve to get on a red. And as you can see from here, he probably isn't on one.
That is desperately unlucky if he's not played a superb shot there. Well, is it available? Oh, that's brilliant.
28.
Well, I didn't think he was on one, but that was an absolute cracker.
He showed some battle here, John, as in the last 2 pots he's played. I mean, he's been out of this session totally, really, and if, like you said earlier on, if he wins the last 2 frames to go 3 clear again, this is a big feather in his cap.
35. $36. $43. $44. $51.
So break goes to 51. It was not on its spot there. I'm sure he noticed that, but sometimes you get down, don't you? You just play the shot and then realise that it's not there. But I think he's okay on the angle. Yeah, had just enough in it.
Yep. 57.
This was the opening plant that he looked at, and he took a little bit of time in looking at it and knowing he was going to do a good cue ball. And as you can see, he got the plant perfectly. And this is what's come of it, 57 and counting.
Wow, it was a tough shot.
Trump 57.
Excellent 57. What a chance this is. It's a big ask, one red on the top cushion, one on the side. But he has been thrown a lifeline in this frame.
One. Five. Six. Well,
it really is a massive frame in the context of this match.
$13.
Needs that cue ball to go a little more. Looks like he's got the angle. Should be able to stun down off this blue. For the outside red. The 2 next to the black. Oh, he had a terrible kick again there.
Yep.
Real big bounce that was. There you go. See this
18.
again. Big, good strike that was, and then it just jumped up in the air.
It's always encouraging when you pot a ball having had a kick, because obviously you have to put disappointment to the back of your mind, and then when you're faced with a shot from just under the cushion, not easy, but played that very well. He's going to need the rest on that one that's under his hand at the moment in a couple of shots' time.
27.
Oh, does he play on the red or does he nudge it forward? There's your answer.
Yeah, and these are the shots the boys will be practicing for hours on end.
34.
But you can't simulate the position he's in here. Crucible. Final frame of this session. This is a massive shot. Beautifully cued.
35.
But of course you can't get near the red now.
As he's such a good long pot, you'd think he'd probably try and stump past the middle pocket, John, wouldn't you, to be able to use it with his cue rather than the rest, maybe?
Yeah, that'd be a good shout, Willie. The other thing I'd like to know is whether that red is absolutely tight on that cushion, because it'll make the pot a little bit easier. I mean, it's not easy by a long stretch, but if it's absolutely touching the cushion, well, it's very close. I think sometimes they're so much harder, aren't they, when they're just that little bit off the cushion.
A little surprise he's going to leave himself with the rest. If it is done just past the middle pocket, you'd have fancied him be able to deliver the cue a little bit straighter with his own cue arm than with the rest.
Yeah, as if this isn't tough enough, he's going to be leaving himself a very difficult one with the next. I don't like these at pace. He's going to hit the jaws and come out. What a shot that is.
43.
That really is very good. And here's another one required, and this has got loads of pressure on it.
Oh, this one shot could spell 9-6 or 8-7. And that's what John talked about. The pressure on that shot
Robertson,
was
40.
immense.
Thank you. Settle
What
down,
a turning
please.
point that could be in this session and the context of this match.
2.
Judd Trump will think it's his birthday, having been left 3 little stun shots on the trot to win the frame.
Five.
And there's the 3 stun
9.
shots on the trot, which should take him past the winning line. And he'll be absolutely delighted to have got out of this session still in front by 3 frames.
14.
Neil Robertson 1 pot away from probably making it 8-7.
20
In it
on
goes,
frame.
that's the last frame of this session. Judd Trump knows he'll be 3 frames in front going to the final session this evening. Make sure you don't miss it. It's Judd Trump 9, Neil Robertson 6.
And going into the last session, I thought just keep my lead, be patient, and you should be okay.
Trump, a former UK champion by this point, was hoping to make quick gains, 19 points ahead here.
1.
Now, will he or won't he? No, he's played for the loose red. Once again, hasn't got into the cue ball. They've been struggling a little bit with this white ball today, and
3.
he's okay on this, but he'd like to have been a bit lower.
4.
Very well played, and a little unfortunate when the black has come. He's on it, but he's going to have to go around the houses unless he can just hold it. Well, he has. He got the angle there, so he's on this red after the black has respotted.
11.
And these two players are both very, very proficient at going into the pack when they're very, very tight. You need lots of cue power.
12.
Now, once again, you'd like to arc it round the front red and come into the side of the pack. And he's blessed with such good cue power. Just needs to miss that first red. That's what he has done, but he didn't arc it quick enough. He missed the first red, which he wanted to do. Just watch the cue ball here. He didn't want to hit the first red. He wanted to arc it into the side of the pack, and he just caught that red half ball. If he'd caught it full ball, they'd have spread all over the place.
Well, I was going to say he got a job on here to get on the red, but with Judd Trump, he's got so much cue power. Just playing for the one in the centre. Now then, crucial after this to try and get a nice angle. He can come for pink or black to go into the reds if need be. I love watching him playing because you just don't know what he's going to do next, you know, and he gets some criticising sometimes for being too open playing, but doesn't bother me. I love watching him play, and I think he's very, very popular with the people who come to watch snooker.
25.
Dedicated pro now. He enters all the tournaments, practiced very hard, maturing very quickly in his profession.
This time he needs to catch that red full, but otherwise he'll glance off into balk. You see it glancing off there, but he played in such a way, just put one red out. Very clever. If he's on it, it's a good shot.
32.
Can see this red. Just looking to see if the red above the pack will pot in the same pocket. Very clever shot that, when it played slow into the pack. Because he knew it was a bad pack, so all he's trying to do is there's like a 5-ball plant there that's going to push that red up. And this is the key shot.
33.
Whether he can screw into the bunch from the pink. He will be pushing the red that's loose over to the corner pocket if he gets this right. Got an angle on the pink toe. I think he can screw into the side of the pack, and he's almost bound to push that red over the corner. Unless he plays for it, that's already available into the middle. Oh, that was careless. Boy, that was careless.
Judd Trump, 30.
I thought there was enough angle on the pink toe to just screw back into the pack. Obviously not. Well, this 52-point lead could disappear very, very quickly. Saving grace, of course, the blues on the side cushion, which you'll just about possibly need. But you'll certainly get right back into the frame, barring accidents. Not happy once again with the contact.
Four. Five.
Excellent shot. That brings every red into play now. Because in a couple of shots' time, he'll pop the pink, get that on its spot. The blue is Judd Trump's only saving ball here, I think.
30.
And already Neil will be trying to get on that half-ball green in 9 shots' time, 10 shots' time. Half-ball green, bring the blue into play, be on the brown.
20.
Hasn't quite come high enough for this red. So I've got to try and flick the reds and stay on the black, or nudge the pink towards the centre. But with that red being on the left of the table there, that may block the pocket. And it has, I think.
21.
It's very tight to go in. End of break.
Well, I didn't think there was any chance he couldn't get those 4. The mood is in, he might take the yellow on. Now he's going to bring the blue into play. Can't blame him for that. Judd Trump will be breathing a big sigh of relief here, because it looked for all money that Neil would clear the reds.
Neil Robertson, 21.
And he brought the blue off one cushion, put it on another one, but it's slightly better. If he gets the opportunity, I guess, to clear up again, it's one good chance gone for Neil. Now then, Judd Trump's looking at this long pot. He finds it so difficult to turn them down because he pots so many of them, but at this stage you feel that may be a better option to play a good safety here. 31 points in front. Oh, what new show. Oh, blimey. A great pot.
1.
In this case, the pink is on nothing.
Might as well just roll up to the pink, might he, as we see this this excellent pot. He just played to go past the pink and be on the black. But the fact that the pink's gone touching ball, it doesn't appear to be a problem. Just roll up to the pink. OK, Robertson will have no problem hitting the reds off the side cushion, but can he get them safe?
Yes, I'm with you. What he doesn't want to do, though, is hit the pink too hard and put the 2 reds together, because that would be an easier target and he'll may be able to roll up to them.
Judd Trump, 1.
Well, he has put them together. He's looking down the line. He hopes there's no plant on there. Amazing.
The plant's on, Terry. The only problem is, because they're absolutely dead in line for the pocket, if he kisses the first red half ball, it'll make it what we call a reverse plant. So the only way I'll get this plant if it's at full ball. And of course, he will be playing it hard. He's got to hit it full ball, though. See, there the 2 reds are absolutely smack in line. Now, if he hits the red on the left-hand side, it'll make it what we call a reverse plant, and he'll miss it. So it's one of those, you're going to have to play it hard and hope for the best. You need to hit it full ball. He's got it. Well played. Very well played. But how unlucky is Judd Trump to have left those planted? And you mentioned, Terry, don't put the 2 reds together. And he did put them together. But, you know, it's amazing that they've lined themselves up.
Here you see the plant again.
8.
Right in the centre. And the other had looked as if it was going in, but just caught the corner and stayed on. Just 24 points behind now.
9.
That blue's still there, and it's on the wrong side of the table for Neil Robertson as a left-hander. And once again, didn't quite get the
13.
amount of spin you wanted. Does pot well, doesn't he?
15.
He just had to play the pace right as well, and he's played it almost to perfection. The reason I say that, he's going to be the wrong side of the brown. He'd like to screw over to the left-hand side, so the brown to blue is a little bit easier to get on. It's going to need a hell of a positional shot to get onto the blue.
$18.
Now, will he play to move it, or will he play to drop on the cushion to give him possibly 3-4 pockets to get on? If you can guarantee getting the pace right, he'll play to get on the cushion, because it gives him the bottom pockets, the middle pockets.
He's played to bring it into play. What an absolutely tremendous shot. There was so much risk involved in that. If he didn't get the piss and gone inside it, he'd have been on nothing. A brave shot, and he's got the reward.
And let's remember, Judd Trump led by 50-odd points in this frame. This one will hurt.
$27. $33.
Just the black then. And what a steal it would be for Neil Robertson. He certainly didn't rush it. He stayed down in the shot as well. He's won the frame from well behind. Now the frame score is just one difference. 9-8 to Judd Trump.
He has hit it good. If it doesn't go in off, it's a great shot. Very, very good.
Foulness.
I'll try for the
That's off.
very thin cut, and well, he's in a worse position now. It's a free ball, but not going to make any difference. That's going to play from where the cue ball has stopped. These days when you have a foul, it's very difficult really, because there's so many options. You can, referee can give a miss. You can play from where the ball lies yourself. You can ask the other player to play the ball. You can get a free ball. I mean, you get punished a lot of times. Please. Yep. That's the one he'd like to get to. He's picked all the angles out and he's pretty close to this, I can tell you. Oh. Well, incredible. And they're all clapping, but I mean, that was so unlucky. What a tremendous escape it was.
Well, he's just looked at how on earth he's gone around the back of it, and you know, well, if we get a chance to show you that again sometimes, how he's gone around the back of that red, I don't know, but
1.
Hardly any room to go around the back of that, and he managed to do that. He's come out nicely for the pink though. 16-point lead. Still not perfect. Because of the closeness of the red and black, he may decide to play for the pink here rather than the black. Just wait to see what he wants to do. No, he's decided to play for the black. Those two reds on the right-hand side are easily accessible. And he's got a perfect angle on the black to get to those two.
$15. 16. $22. 23.
38 in front. The pink will make it 44. So every chance he's going to go too clear again. Just make sure the red has got the frame beyond any doubt.
29.
The blue's there as well. Can get into the black as well if he wants. He's got a slight angle.
30. $37. 38.
Holding himself together as you would expect from a former world number one.
$45.
No big breaks, but a very, very good break of 45 right at the right time. Takes Judd Trump further clear again, this time by 2 frames at 10-8.
Well, the next 2 frames were shared. Trump now 11-9 in front, and he's only 2 frames away from reaching the semi-final. Robertson, meanwhile, is running out of time if he's going to make this historic 100th century of the season.
I suppose if he catches it cushion first, it is a big pocket, isn't it? Could go in off the other red. What he almost tried to do. Now, is there a gap anywhere now? At first glance, no.
What's his safety again? Not sure if he tried to plant there, but his ball's moving all over the place, and pink does go in the corner on the left middle. Till he gets on that pink and clears a few reds away, this it's not a great chance.
1.
You can flick into the red that's just below the pink here, and that will make the pink possible into the left-hand top pocket. So if this goes right, he will have the pink available into all 4 the major pockets. Just trying to push that out of the way, and he's done that. So this now is a good chance to get 7 or 8 pinks at least.
7. 8. 14.
Taking the more difficult pot on along the cushion to retain position on the pink.
15. 21. 22.
He speeds up quite a lot when he gets in the balls. Very positive player. And his safety's been taking more time than usual in this match, but you can't blame him with Trump following him.
$28.
Always awkward when all the reds are one side of the table. Oh, we didn't get a good contact there. Red lifting off the bed there.
$35.
Just be careful of the green there. He's having a good look at it. It's quite away from the green, so be
36.
another pink. 36 he's had so far. 35 points in front. It's slightly more difficult now. He's had options which Reds play on,
42.
but he's going to be to get tight positional control after this red and pink.
43.
Good response from Neil. At one time he was 4 frames behind this match, and if you carries on here, he'll be just 1 behind.
You certainly won't risk bringing the
49.
black into play here. It's a perfect angle on the red in the corner pocket, but obviously you can win the frame just taking pink, so another 4 reds, 4 pinks will be enough.
$50.
He's working very, very hard. $55 in front.
56.
2 more reds, 2 pinks, and he should close to within 1.
57.
Now, has he got an angle to stun over for the two reds? It looks pretty straight from here. The only hope is to screw back for the red into the middle, and you can see that's a really tight angle. Absolutely gun barrel straight. Needs to screw back 18 inches so he's got the straight red in the middle. And he's only screwed back about 14 inches, so this is a little bit tricky, this red. But it's frame ball.
63.
No heroics here with the position, he'll just try and drop it in. Making it a little bit more difficult, stunning it in. Very well played.
64.
Very well played. Now he can take the chance of bringing the two reds into play that are near the black if he wants. He's on 64. Needs to play this pacey though if he goes into the black. That wasn't on. That wasn't on.
Seventy.
And he might as well try and cut it in the middle, I suppose. Well, what a shame, but what a time to produce his icebreaker of the match so far. Break of 70. It gets him even closer now. He trails by 1 at 11:10. This time he's short of pace to get the cue ball on the cushion, so Judd might be tempted at one here.
The one in the right centre looks as if it cuts. It's a very thin cut, and of course position is well, in the love of the gods. I looked at the other red, but you can see it's so thin. I think he'd probably hit the red that's below it on the way down. So taking the more positive shot. Red into the left corner.
If he holds for the brown, it may be worth taking on. How's it looking? How's it looking? Boy, how's that not gone in? At that pace, how has that not gone in? Oh, there, I thought it was there.
So did Judd.
I don't think there's any way out here. He's going to have to play an aggressive shot, maybe a long plant or the long pot that's into the right-hand top pocket as we look. We can get on the pink or black from that.
Well, you could possibly move the red off the corner with another red, but the problem is that red on the centre pocket all the time. If he doesn't get the cue ball to the right-hand side of the table, he'll be leaving it on.
I mean, the cut down the cushion, the one that's nearest the middle pocket on the left-hand side, he could play that red onto the other red and still get a good white. But he is in trouble here. He's looking at the shot now. But he's really got to get into the cue ball to miss the cannon on the blue and green when he plays this shot, because he's going to have to get loads of stun and side, or screw and side, to miss that blue and green. I think he's going to have to play this long pot in this right-hand corner. Stephen Hendry used to say, if I lost the frame through playing a safety shot rather than a pot, I'd never forgive myself. Can he miss the blue and green? Well, fabulous. You've got to take half a frame. It was always going to be difficult to miss the blue and green.
1.
But luckily for him, it went in.
Yes, he had to cut the red quite thin, didn't he, to get at that angle. That's why he caught the blue and green. Doesn't matter if the red goes in, though.
Well, this is the first time for the last 4 or 5 frames we've had everything in open play. Look at the balls now.
5.
What a time this would be to make a sizable break.
Six.
If this was early in the match, you'd be saying he's should win the frame from here where the balls are, but at this stage, with the pressure that's on, anything's missable. A little bit of noise in the crowd behind Neil there. He jumped above the shot, but no problem.
9.
At the moment, he's just invested in these small colours, waiting to get up to the big stuff, pink and black. That is 70 in the previous frame. He'll be feeling very confident. Hold on a minute.
12.
Oh, it's just about okay.
It looked difficult to make a mess of that shot, didn't it? But he has. He's hampered queuing. Got to miss the kiss on the brown.
$13.
Now, one good positional shot. He needs to get up on these reds and blacks.
Judd Trump hasn't potted a ball now for over 26 minutes. That's a long time out there when you get in the business end of the match.
Just having a
15.
look whether that pink pots. If it doesn't, he's in trouble because he can't. There may be a slight chance of getting the gap through those reds to get onto the black, but the pink is very close to being pottable. I think it may pot. He needs to pot this and cannon on the red to the left of it. And now he has a
16.
chance. A big chance.
$22. $23.
He looked at it for an opportunity then to play a ringer on the black, but he prefers the pink, obviously. He would like to be an inch or two further down the table with the cue ball towards us, really, because he's okay. It's not too thin to hold the cue ball, but just makes things a little more difficult.
See, just one good pot away from being in perfect position. Now he's got a chance as long as he's not straightish on the black.
It's good to see him walking around the table quicker when he's making breaks. I think it suits his style more, though he's taking longer on the safety shots, which you can understand, but keeping a nice rhythm.
$38.
Just can't get pinpoint at the moment, can he? It's been hard work for 38. I don't know what the colour sequence has been, but it's been a few low ones. There you can see yellows, greens, browns, blues. No blues, no blues. Pinks and black, everything but a blue.
Well, this could be good. Red at the top of the pack there's available. What a lovely shot.
What a fabulous shot, Terry. He's got a perfect angle, hasn't he, to get onto the black. Wonderful shot. Deserves what he gets from this now. And hopefully, if he does go on to win the frame, it would be his 100th century. This was perfectly played.
$52.
And what kind of angle does he have on this red? Can he pop the red and flick another red into play? I think he can, Terry, you know. He could bring another 3 reds into play here. And now then, the 100th century is a definite possibility. A little bit careless there, didn't quite get the desired
60.
angle, but it's okay, can run through for the black still.
61.
The difficult red on the side cushion is the one that's going to be a real big problem. And to make the 100, he'll need 4 reds and 4 blacks, won't he? So it all depends what he does with these next 4 reds. Because that red to get onto any other colour could be a problem. Oh, 69. Now you've won the frame, Neil. Come on, you deserve the 100 centuries.
Yes, but would it be a monkey off his back, or would it affect him for the next few frames? Hard to say, really.
76.
I mean, Trump's looking a bit forlorn now. He's lost the last 3 frames on the trot, and he hasn't done an awful lot wrong. He's just lost the safety battles. You know, it's not he's been missing pots or anything like that. Just wonder whether he'll risk getting on the difficult red now. There's your answer, he's risked it. If he takes the pink, he's going to need the yellow to make the century.
$85.
15 points from here. not guaranteed to get perfect on this red. I'd rather him play for a baulk colour here, I really would. Make the 100 a
88.
certainty. Get a nice angle.
89.
He has a nice angle. Surely now he's going to get it. 2 pots from an unbelievable record that might
96.
never ever get beaten again. At least I'm going to have the honour to be the first to congratulate on if this green goes in. At this stage of the match, absolutely unbelievable. What a monkey off his back and the crowd standing ovation, and he certainly deserves that. It's been absolutely brilliant at this stage of the game to produce that fantastic break. It's quite incredible. Congratulations to Neil Robertson, not only on the century, but to have levelled the match at 11 all. You'd think he'd won the World Championship. What a fantastic break.
It was a goal I set myself sort of pretty early in the season after 3 events. I think I was on about 20 odd centuries, and obviously the opportunity was there to go for 100 centuries. So, you know, a lot of my focus was on trying to get that 100 centuries, to be the first player to make 100 centuries. You know, who knows if someone else will do it again, but I always wanted to be the first. You know, everyone kind of remembers all the sporting greats and sporting, you know, achievements with world records and such like that. Who's the first guy who did it? So it was a real goal of mine, and you know, I was absolutely over the moon that I did. I've never felt so relieved in my life before.
And then just looking at the plant here, those 2 below the pink. May be available.
Well, attention. This is he's going to have a go at this. I say attention because if it didn't go in, we knew this was going to happen. The only good thing at the moment is the fact that the black's on the back cushion, so it's not guaranteed to win the frame at this visit, even, and it's going to be very, very tough to get onto a colour. The angle he's got on this is not nice. He could just roll through and play the pink in the middle. But as you can see, the pink's tricky.
8 hours play. Good pot again.
Well, this is just amazing, isn't it? And every ball toe is going right in the middle of the pocket.
7. Eight. $40. 15.
Robertson's pot success rate has gone now to 90%, and Judd's is still at 89, and he hasn't had a shot for 3 frames.
As part of that 90%, and Neil Robertson, he's made 315 out of 349 pots he's taken on in 8 hours. Incredible.
This is the first time the white could run loose. To play this very slowly. And once again, in the middle of the pocket, perfect position. Pink on,
20.
3 reds, 3 killers. He's one away from victory. That young man is now going to have to dig deeper than he ever has done before in his life. Somehow he's got to have to make something happen.
21.
At the minute, it's just been flawless snooker.
It's just hard to explain how you feel in the chair when you're kept out of a match. You don't feel part of the match somehow.
$26.
Such a big audience here watching this match, enjoying every minute, and Judd Trump in his chair thinking that he's the only one in the room. He feels so lonely there.
Now, does the middle red of those 5 pot in the right-hand corner? If it does, he doesn't have to play the cannon. Just coming around to have a look now. It's really, really tight. It probably goes just. He doesn't feel it does. That's why he's played for the slightly more difficult red. And once again, he's absolutely inch perfect. Well, he played 3 frames against Mark Allen to win the match when he was leading, I think, 10-7 or something like that, and played 3 frames on the trot where he never missed a ball. This, I think, is actually better than that.
33. $33 on the frame, Neil Robertson.
Well, Judge decided not to continue playing snookers, so 68 points to 0. Robertson takes the lead for the first time in the match at 12-11. It definitely goes in off the right-hand jaw, but can he hit it hard enough to bring black into play?
Surely Neil checked that before he played his safety shot. And he's glancing up at the television monitor, Neil, just to check. See if it does go. Don't forget, this isn't all over yet.
I don't see how he can't kiss the red out of the way, though. He's going to hit the black, which is just going to push the black to the cushion. Now, there is a slight chance if he plays it firm, it could help the pot rather than playing it slow. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Well, that looked really bad because it's caught the other red early on and the balls are manoeuvring all over the table, but you can still understand why Judd has gone for the shot, because he's just not getting opportunities and he feels he's got to go out there and grasp it rather than wait for them. Here's going to be his last one, though.
1.
Well, I've seen a lot of performances from the great players over the years, the Stephen Hendrys and the O'Sullivans and the Steve Davises, but from the position he was in, these last 5 frames from Neil Robertson have been up there with the best I've ever seen. He
7.
literally has played flawless safety. When he's got in, he's scored. And all the frames have been scrappy. He's never had it where he's got pink on the spot, black on the spot. He's had to graft all the time.
But there was no warning in that, really, was there? At 11-8 behind, he didn't look as if he had it in him to do it. His form didn't look wonderful, but he just turned it round.
Cue ball's running loose. Cue ball's running loose.
Foul.
Just when you thought it was
Neil Robertson,
over,
12th.
there's a
Judd Trump,
lifeline.
4. Thank you. Settle down, please.
Oh, this is a stat you're going to not believe. An hour and 4 minutes at the business end of a match. And he's been stuck on 11 frames for all that time.
It's normally difficult to stop Judd Trump potting at all, even for 5 minutes. He's got a pot on here though. Starting to get nearer that point now when the one bad shot could cost him it. Well done, sir. Very well done.
And I think so he's going to have to take the risk. This was an excellent pot after an hour's play. I was just about to say he's about to take the risk of playing the blue into the pink, because he's going to win this frame and get back to 12-12. He needs to make it happen. Right here, right now. He's missed the pink. Still okay though, luckily enough.
6.
And as he looked at the black there. You can play for the black, it'll be a thin cut, but he also could have got up for the blue. See what he thinks of it. Looks like black.
7.
Now, can he pot the black and just check the white a little bit and play the cannon into the 2 reds and pink? He's bound to be on the other red, but if he misses the cannon, he's nowhere. He's played the cannon. He's got the position well played, freed to the reds.
14.
Well, this would be a monumental task, having been off the table for all that length of time, to produce
15.
a break to get back into the frame.
He commits all the time, doesn't he, when he gets in the balls? That's what everybody likes about him. He tries to make things happen all the time. He's very refreshing to watch. Not many like him in the game, really.
22.
The red on that right-hand side is obviously horrible for a left-handed player as well. He has an angle on this next red. He may even try and bring the red off the cushion with a shot. He may honestly just try and bring this red off, because if the red, you don't want to be playing this red down the cushion with the rest, do you? Maybe a little too straight to do that as Neil Robertson looks on. He's played it. Well played, Robertson. What a fantastic shot. At that stage of the match, brilliant.
31.
That's the style of play that's got in this stage of his career. And he should continue playing that way.
Wow. If he runs it in, he's got to judge the pace to perfection. He's so unlucky there to have left such a difficult pot.
Judd Trump,
It was a
31.
brilliant shot to bring the red into play. What a shame the match is possibly going to end like that. Just having a look at the scoreboard, the green, of course. Neil needs that. He was so concentrating, Terry, wanting on just drifting past the pink.
One.
Well, he needs a brown as well, so there may be a little bit of life left in this frame yet.
Well, this isn't straightforward, is it? He needs to get a nice angle on the yellow to pot it into the corner pocket and have a nice angle to get on the green, so this is a key shot here now.
Well, from a match that was looking a little pedestrian
8.
earlier on in the evening, it's now turned out to be one of the most exciting matches of the tournament. Will he get another shot?
There's somebody coughing badly in the back and this just disturbing Neil. That's awful. That's awful. The
That's
last
enough,
thing you want.
please. Thank you.
so glad he potted that, because if he'd have missed it and be disturbed by the crowd, it would have been a disaster.
Well, Judd Trump can only hope this is too straight to be able to get close to the brown. Because if he has to leave the white anywhere in baulk, the brown's going to be tricky. He needs to get close to the brown. And it obviously is straight, otherwise he'd already be down.
They don't try and hit it too hard and force an angle out of it. They could miss the green then. It's not a certainty at power. That's what he's doing. Oh. What a shot that was.
Well, that's unbelievable. That honestly is unbelievable.
18.
Well, there have been plenty of comebacks at the Crucible over the years, but this has been up there with the very, very best. Absolutely brilliant. I feel so sorry for Judd Trump. He hasn't hardly had a shot until that last frame. Well, Neil Robertson, you've got to take your hat off to him. And Judd Trump shakes his hand. What a tremendous evening session. A standing ovation from this packed Crucible audience. You've seen something very special this evening. 100 centuries and also a comeback that'll be up there with the very best comebacks of all time. Neil Robertson goes into the semi-final, winning by 13 frames to 11. And boy, is he pleased.
I felt so confident. I think once I got to sort of 11-8, 11-9, I was sort of in control of the match, and I wasn't really missing anything, and I was putting him under a lot of pressure. So at that stage of the match, you just got to sort of focus on your own game and just go about your business really, and then if you keep it up, then you'll probably come out on top.
He just completely outplayed me the last 4 frames, and I didn't get a chance. The balls didn't really run for me, but it was just one of those games. I think everything was sort of set up for him.
Robertson's pulsating finish was worth the entry fee alone for that Crucible crowd. And the Australian went on to make a further 3 centuries in the semi-final, although he did lose that match to Mark Selby. So he finished on 103 tons for the campaign. It is just another one of the many achievements of Robertson, the greatest overseas player ever to have played the game.